As a grandson of legendary ocean explorer and pioneer Jacques Cousteau, I grew up surrounded by the beauty of the sea and its dangers. Now I am crossing the Pacific Ocean to join Steve Irwin on an extraordinary journey into the habitat of some of the deadliest animals on the planet and into the lives of the wildlife warriors dedicated to saving them. Scientists like Jamie Seymour, who unveils the secrets of the stonefish, the world's most venomous fish. The cone shell, a beautiful mollusk with a fatal sting. And the deceptive beauty that conceals the most lethal venom on Earth, a jellyfish with a delicate curtain of tentacles that can kill at a touch. We're going to assist in the dangerous work of Craig Adams, researcher and venom collector, hand-milking the deadliest snakes in the ocean. Meet shark attack survivor Rodney Fox, who dedicates his life to researching the most feared sharks of all, teaching respect for their beauty and power. See Professor Craig Franklin reveal new insights into saltwater crocodiles, and with Steve Irwin's help, uncover the secrets of the most powerful reptile in the sea. I'm looking forward to bringing my own knowledge as an explorer and conservationist to assist these dedicated researchers who are embracing the challenge of saving our ocean heritage, where even the deadliest creatures are vital links in the chain of life on this planet. And most of all, I'm looking forward to working with a man whose stature in the world of the wild is legendary. The man they call the crocodile hunter.
G'day, I'm Philippe Cousteau, and I'm here in Australia to join Steve Irwin on an adventure to search for some of the ocean's deadliest predators.
Ah, that looks like Philippe right there. How exciting, getting to meet one of the Cousteau family. How you going, mate?
How's it going?
You must be Philippe.
I am indeed, and you must be Steve.
G'day, mate.
How's it going?
Going great, mate. Welcome to Australia.
Pleasure to be here finally. It's been a long trip, but my God, it's worth it. I'm looking forward to an awesome adventure.
Let's get down to Croc 1.
Sounds
I've
good.
landed in tropical northern Australia, where our mission will take us to the coral reefs and wild, untamed shores around remote Cape York. Our base will be Steve's research vessel, Croc 1.
Done a heck of a lot of scientific research missions and about to go on another big one. Welcome aboard.
Thanks very much.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Philippe, this is Dr. Jamie Seymour.
How are you?
Hey, guys.
Oh, real good, real good.
This is my crew, Kate and Brian.
Hi, Brian. How you doing? Pleasure to meet you.
Hi, how you going?
Hello, Kate.
Yeah, you got some deadlies for us to play with, mate?
Absolutely. You have no idea what we've got this time. This is going to be so much fun.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
Jamie's work could help save hundreds of lives every year, victims of the agonizing stings of toxic fish, mollusks, and jellyfish. I'm privileged to assist in his work with the most deadly of all these marine animals. Croc 1 is Steve's purpose-built research vessel, a combination of size, speed, and toughness, designed to be rugged enough to take on the severe conditions it could encounter on remote expeditions of discovery, research, and rescue. At 75 feet, it's big enough to sleep a research team, and it's tough enough to carry us right into the natural habitat of the ocean's deadliest creatures. On this trip, it will take us to a variety of environments: pristine coral reefs, untouched tropical river mouths, rocky shorelines, and even upstream into estuaries teeming with crocodiles. Croc 1 is a fully equipped dive boat and floating laboratory. First stop is the shallow water and sandy bottom around a coral reef, the perfect environment for us to find the first deadly animal of our expedition.
We're about to dive with the world's deadliest fish, the stonefish.
Crikey, I love stonefish. They're so funny. Each fish has got their individual personalities. They're great. And their eyes on top of their head and their camouflage techniques are second to none.
There's only been about one recorded death here in Australia, several throughout the Indo-Pacific region.
The treatment, of course, is sticking the envenomated area into hot water. 43 degrees Celsius is about where you want to be.
Unlike most fish, stonefish actually don't have any scales. And this means a couple of things. But primarily it means that they can use algae and other bits and pieces that are around to actually help them in their camouflage.
It just sits there, looking like a stone in the rubble or the sandy bottom, waiting for unsuspecting prey to come by before he gobbles it up.
And unlike a lot of venomous species that I work with, their venom is designed for defense. you actually have to stand on the spines, and then underneath the skin, beneath each spine, is their venom gland. And when you actually put pressure on that skin, poof, the venom comes out like an aerosol can.
Other divers have told us about a large stonefish living in this area. They're masters of camouflage, so we're combing through habitat that matches the look of a stonefish. Around here, an outcrop covered with algae could be a rock, a lump of coral, or the most venomous fish in the ocean. And it looks like Jamie and Steve have finally found one. For such a deadly creature, it's exceptionally placid. No sign of aggression, not even when it's touched. This one's not quite as large as the other divers promised, but it's a healthy specimen, and Jamie records every detail for his scientific study. The concealment is perfect. We found it only because we knew what we were looking for and where. They're not a very mobile fish and rarely move beyond a very small range of sea floor. Their fins are just powerful enough to lift them off the bottom and move them around in short hops. Steve is keeping away from the venomous dorsal spines, and he can handle the fish only because he knows them so well. Anyone else handling a stonefish could be in serious danger from the venom which we will extract from the spines when we take this specimen up to Croc 1. While its venom will be valuable for Jamie's research, this is not the stonefish we came to find. It's quite small, and we should be able to find a much bigger fish waiting in ambush somewhere else on this reef. Stonefish can sit in extremely shallow water. Even when the tide is completely out, they bury into the sand. Much more dangerous than this deeper habitat, where we finally locate the larger stonefish. This research helps produce antivenom that will save the lives of victims around the world. The stonefish hunkers down with only its eyes and spines exposed, ready to gobble up its prey as it swims past. But with a human foot, the stonefish interprets the shadow as a possible predator, and up come the venomous spines. It's the perfect self-defense mechanism, but it can deliver a fatal wound to an unwary human. Croc 1 is set up for the stonefish with holding tanks, life support systems, and lab facilities to extract venom from their spines.
Let's take the big one because that'll be the easiest to milk. So
Okay.
grab that one first.
Yep. All right, I'm going in. Come on, Mr. Big. You're Mr. Big. Aren't they docile?
They're like little puppy dogs.
The world's most venomous fish, and yet they are so placid and docile. Head facing back of the boat.
Put the head down that end.
Alrighty, how
Swap
about that?
sides.
Yep.
Now the interesting thing with these guys too is they'll live out of water easily, 5, 10, 15, 20 hours.
Oh my word.
Spines don't stand up.
at that.
And a lot of what you can see is actually not the skin of the animal, but it's the algae.
Uh-huh.
So what we'll actually do is we'll cut some of that away,
Yep.
and then you'll be actually able to see the spine.
Just removing the algae.
Yeah.
Oh. Should I hold him? Or?
Yeah, you want to hold the front end of him, that's it.
Yeah. Hey, little fella.
You can see that spine sticking out there. Boy, it's quite something.
Yeah, so you can imagine if you stand on that.
That's a good inch.
Oh yeah, easily.
Okay.
It was incredible to see how much of that deadly spine Jamie revealed from under the algae without hurting the fish, and how powerfully the venom ejected.
See the venom come out then?
I sure as heck did.
Got me right in the face.
See it then. It goes clean through wetsuit booties.
Like a fan. Here he goes again.
Yeah.
Sorry, little fella.
That's it. Don't need to squeeze, so just push it on one side, slightly as it goes in, and draw back on the strings, that's it.
There's one.
That's one, and the same thing on the other side. And then draw back. That's it.
Got him.
Got it.
Beautiful. Just give you that, squirt into that carefully, just dribble it down the side.
And I've just milked my very first stonefish.
Put the clap on it, or it won't run. That's how you milk a stonefish. You want to see one on a little leash, couldn't you? And you can sort of take it down the street.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on, you of all people.
Here you go, Mr. Big. Such a powerful toxin for such a placid fish.
World's most venomous fish and high on the list of the ocean's deadliest. Coming up next, a cone shell with a fatal sting, and Steve encounters his biggest sea snake ever.
Biggest sea snake I've ever seen in my entire life.
Nightfall, and a whole new adventure.
It is really dark out here, and that is perfect for tonight. We're going to look for cone shells. Now, these are the deadliest mollusks in the ocean. In fact, certain species of these have been known to kill up to 100 people worldwide. They like to get out in the shallows and the sandy bottoms and hunt for fish or mollusks at nighttime, so that's the best time to find them.
The cone shell is a nocturnal hunter of the sandy shallows, armed with a harpoon that injects a deadly toxin.
Hey, look, Philippe, there's one here.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
For anyone else, this would be a deadly risk, picking up a cone shell with bare hands. But Jamie knows how to do it safely.
Now, there should be another one out here too.
There definitely should be another one, yeah.
They often travel at night in pairs, hunting their prey of fish or mollusks.
Got it, there it is.
Just remember what I said about picking them up. These are venomous animals. That's
Look at that, gorgeous.
Just remember they're venomous. So, stunning animals. Drop him in there. The lid on this. Great find. Great find.
We're bringing our catch back to Croc 1 to study their hunting behavior in our floating lab. That tube is a siphon, filtering water and tasting it to track potential prey. When he's close enough, the cone shell extends a proboscis armed with a tooth shaped like a harpoon. It can extend over 2 inches, which is easily long enough to reach around to the back of a snail's shell and find the weak spot. Watch closely. There it goes. Bang! The prey is envenomated, and now totally paralyzed. It's not going anywhere. He's rolling it over, and there's what we call an operculum, just like a back door to the snail. There's a big muscle in the way, and if you paralyze that muscle, the window opens, and that's where he gets in. He's rolling him over and sucking it out. Everything that's inside is going to be just like a big, thick milkshake. Conotoxins, the venom from cone snails, are probably some of the most complex venoms known to mankind. The work that's been done in Australia shows there can be 500 to 600 components to any one venom. Medical researchers are excited about conotoxins, which include powerful painkillers and paralyzing agents in a single package. After our night with the cone shells, we're looking for the deadly mollusk's greatest predator, the sea snake. They frequent this part of the reef, and to everyone's amazement, before we even started searching, we've just seen one of the biggest. We're moving in as quietly as possible so we don't upset the snake.
Okay. Hold right, hold there.
A good call. Close enough to reach the snake without scaring it away.
Hold there.
This is what Steve has done so well for so long, entering into the world of the snake with a profound understanding of how the reptile will react to his every move. I've been around marine scientists my entire life, but I've never seen such rapport between a human and a creature of the sea. The snake seems unthreatened by Steve and totally relaxed in his presence. Steve waits until the reptile is comfortable enough for him to hold, to give us a detailed view of a beautiful but deadly animal.
Have a look at this. Here is the biggest sea snake I've ever seen in my entire life. This would have to be a Stokes, the biggest sea snake on earth. And this one would be over 6 feet long. I'm a 6-footer. And I reckon it'd be as long as me. And his body is as fat as my arm, almost as fat as my leg. What an absolute ripper. The beauty of the Stokes sea snake is they eat the deadliest fish in the ocean. They actually eat stonefish. Wow. Right here is his venom glands. They'd be chock-a-block full of venom. I gotta tell you, this snake would have 1/4-inch fangs or more and would be able to penetrate straight through a neoprene wetsuit, no problem at all. And with the size of those venom glands, mate, you wouldn't want to get whacked by this snake, not at all. Lucky enough he didn't have his mouth open there, but you could see how old Steve-O could have taken a bit of a hit. If he wanted to kill me, he could quite easily, but sea snakes aren't an aggressive species. As long as you don't muck with them, as long as you don't hurt them, then you're in no danger from sea snakes. See the way he gets his head high up out of the water to get a breath? Look at him. He's a beauty, isn't he, Philippe? He's a whopper. He's an absolute champion. We are so lucky, we are so honoured to have the king of all sea snakes cruising along right next to our boat so as we could get a good look at him. Sea snakes are a beautiful animal. A lot of people just think they're evil, ugly serpents that live out in the water wanting to kill people. That's not true at all. Hey, you can swim back to the reef and hunt for some more stonefish. Away you go, fella.
Coming up next, we join a sea snake roundup to collect precious but deadly venom.
All yours, my friend.
Look at that.
Being there for Steve's biggest ever sea snake experience was a real honor. Now we're joining some of his mates for a wild ride to collect venom.
Hey, Craig. Hey, Josh.
Gentlemen.
Hey, this is Philippe. This is Craig from Australian Reptile Park. And this is the Legend of Weeper.
How you doing?
And Josh Lyons,
The best.
permission to come aboard.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Craig Adams is a professional reptile handler from the Australian Reptile Park near Sydney, and it's our task to help him capture sea snakes so he can milk their venom for the vital work of making anti-venom. Our local guide, Josh, has a favorite spot where a giant grouper comes to be hand-fed.
Oh, look, there he is. Yeah, that's really good, Josh.
This is probably the biggest grouper I've ever seen in my life, but tragically, fish of this size are becoming incredibly rare in American waters.
I know in the Florida Keys and Caribbean, they've been fished out. That's where you want to see them. The little ones aren't able to breed, and yet spear fishermen and trophy fishermen go after the big ones, and those are the only guys that can have the babies. So after a few generations, the entire species can get wiped out.
Milking sea snakes has to be done in the wild. They don't survive well in captivity, and the prime hunting time is after dark, increasing the challenge of finding a super slim animal in thousands of square miles of open water. But fishermen often encounter them tangled and drowning in their nets, and that's when people get bitten and die. Tonight, the main species we're hoping for is the beaked sea snake. It's an animal to be treated with respect, responsible for half the bites and 90% of fatalities around the world. It doesn't take long for the action to start. Our first catch is small and aggressive, the worst kind of snake to handle.
Another little hardwicks.
What's that?
Sketcher? No. But he hit me. Gotcha. Oi, 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 oi. Do you want to try milking one of these little too small?
I do want to milk one, but I want to get one just a bit bigger.
Mate, I'm going to have to drop him back in for something off his chops. He's going to bite anything that comes within range.
Then, amazingly, we encounter an old friend, a crocodile with a tracking device that Steve attached 2 years ago.
Okay, Skipper. That's 2 years that track's been. You know, Josh, that'll be Fuji. Fuji or Skyfleet. How's that? Certainly not affecting his condition. No. You see how fat his neck was.
With the croc's location and condition recorded to back up the data being collected by its satellite device, we resume our mission. And the venom we're collecting and handling rivals the very deadliest of the world's land snakes. Another dangerous, hyperactive little specimen.
Have a look at this. What a little beauty. It's a really little head for its body. Death roll, death roll. These are a shocker in the net. See how they do this death roll business? Way too small.
Again, not big enough to milk. And we're also rejecting snakes where we can see by the lump in their belly that they've just eaten so as not to startle them and cause them to regurgitate.
All right, let's get him. Josh, got it, got it. Give it some, Josh. Go, go, go. Who's getting the bread? You, Brett. Oh, he hasn't got anything in his belly?
You sure?
Oh, he's all yours, my friend.
The snake is squirting venom everywhere. Craig wants to start milking before it's all gone, and I'm impressed by his clever invention to restrain the snake.
You can see what's going on.
That's very clever. Nice
He's got a
work.
small head, so
Nice
he
work.
doesn't turn around on me. I can see just a tiny little drop on each fang.
Yeah.
Now, sea snakes can dive to about, what, 100 meters?
100 meters, yeah.
300 feet.
And they've made a few adaptations to help them do that, and one of them is that they'll take oxygen through the skin. So about a fifth of their oxygen usage is absorbed through the skin, and apparently they can shed off nitrogen as well after a deep dive, so they don't get the bends.
Only divers could do that, right?
Yeah.
All right, he's ready to go back.
Okay. Straight under. Oh, a couple of droplets of venom ready to go.
So that drop there, that's a lot of venom. That would have you in a lot of trouble.
This venom will be used by Australian labs to make an antidote for bite victims around the world.
There's one there. Got him, Josh? Yeah, I got him. Whoa, look at the size of this one. Woo! Here we go, gentlemen. Yeah. How about that one, Craig? Big giant hardwicks.
I think we can milk that.
Come and have a look at him. Look at that. It's going off his dial. Wow, what a beauty. Big enough to milk, mate?
That, yeah, definitely.
Great. Whoa. Settle down,
there,
mate.
mate.
Yep, hang on. I'll put him back in here till you're ready to go.
This work is very dangerous, but so vital, it's worth every bit of the risk.
Fired him up for me too, Steve.
Yeah, mate, he's fired up, all right. Whoa. You'll bite anything that moves.
Here's how the risk adds up. The snake has to be angry enough to inject. The venom's deadly, the fangs are exposed, and the boat can rock suddenly, a dangerous equation.
Whoa.
And hundreds of snakes have to be milked to make a single life-saving dose of antivenom.
Snakes.
Oh, how's that venom just shooting in?
Look at that. Drops right off the tip of his fangs.
You have a good chew of that.
Yeah.
See those?
Good fang length, too. Good 3 mil there.
And with sea snakes, it's primarily neurotoxic, and it just attacks the nervous system and it attacks the muscles. I mean, these guys are up there with the most venomous snakes in the world.
Good fangs. Come on, fella.
We've got your contribution. Been feeding well,
Hasn't
hasn't
he? Wait, here we go. I'll get him.
Got him?
Yep.
Australia's antivenom production saves lives every week of every year, but the risks are worth it. But not every snake in the sea is a man killer, as Steve proved when he found a snake he was happy to hand over to me.
Go.
Oh, it's a vile snake.
All right.
Mate, this is all yours, Philippe.
Excellent.
This is something that you wouldn't do with a sea snake. Mate, I'll take that spotty for you. Have a look at that. This is a little file snake. There's 2 species of file snakes in the world. The Javan file snake and the little file snake. These ones live in the saltwater, and the Javan files, or Arafura files, live in the freshwater. Oh, how's this? Look at the ding in his body. He's got a big scar there. Look at that.
Some got him, huh?
Yeah.
Normal snake tail there.
Yeah.
But still a slender body.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Aren't they beautiful? They're a fantastic animal. They love the weed beds, particularly the grass, the same seagrasses that the dugongs feed on. Isn't it nice to finally find a species that you don't have to worry about getting tagged? Because not only do they have no venom, but they will not bite. They just don't bite.
It's docile.
Yeah. Mate, would you like the honour of the release?
I would love to, Steve. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Here you go, sweetheart.
Snakes of the ocean, amazing animals worthy of respect and absolutely essential for a balanced ecosystem.
How's that?
That's great.
Good stuff.
That was great.
Really good. All right, let's get it.
Coming up, we encounter the deadliest creature of all, a jellyfish, and a pretty octopus with a painless but fatal bite. The Australian coast is a paradise, but it's also the place where we may encounter the most toxic ocean species of all.
We've seen a lot of amazing creatures on this show, but the deadliest of them all is this guy right here, the box jellyfish.
The most deadliest venomous animal on the planet. They don't come any more potent than these guys.
On the planet.
On the planet. End of story. I mean, a big sting from one of these guys, okay, a big sting's probably about 2 metres, so it's not a lot of tentacle, okay, is liable to kill you in a minute and a half. There is nothing else out there on the planet that does it in that time frame. I mean, it is spectacular.
With Steve ashore setting up croc traps, Jamie and I are going in search of a delicate but deadly beauty found close to tropical beaches. These lethal tentacles can trail up to 15 feet. The box jellyfish in northern Australia could hold the key to mysteries that marine scientists desperately want to solve. Where do they come from? Where do they go? And when will they arrive on the beaches? Human medical technology is being adapted to the seemingly impossible task of attaching a tracking device to an animal so fragile that a struggling shrimp could rip its flesh. It's this fragility that forced the box jellyfish to evolve a deadly weapon, a toxin powerful enough to stop the struggles of prey in less than a heartbeat. The tentacles are covered with millions of microscopic stinging capsules called nematocysts that are triggered the instant they're touched. Each capsule fires a tube that penetrates flesh, releasing the deadly venom from the sides, and it all happens at lightning speed. The pain of a sting is excruciating. It can kill in minutes, and even if you survive, you'll be scarred by the highly dermonecrotic venom that slowly kills skin tissue.
This guy's probably only about half grown. So they'll get to around about 40 centimetres, which would be 18 inches, 20 inches across. Okay, now it's a box jellyfish, it's square. On each corner of this square, it's going to have about 16 or 17 tentacles. Okay, do a quick sum, that's sort of 60, 65 tentacles to the animal. Each of those tentacles will be 2 or 3 metres long. Do some sums. If 2 metres kills a human, and there's 60, maybe 70 tentacles there, one of these guys, fully grown, can knock off 70 humans in one go. Bang. End of story. So what we'll do, we're going to go out this morning now, we're going to catch one of these things, hopefully if we can find them. Okay. And what we're going to do is put one of these little tags on. So, one. Cool. And we can work out where the animal is and where it's going.
The estuarine mangroves are rich in marine life, a natural hunting ground for the box jellyfish. We're covered by full-length, stinger-proof wetsuits and armed with ultrasound tags and medical-grade waterproof superglue, designed for human surgery.
Beautiful. I got him here in my hands. You right? We got the tag there?
You got the tag.
Excellent. I got the animal. Just watch the tentacles. They run with the current. Stretch right out. So you need to stay. That's right. That side there.
Quick, we don't want to stretch this.
No, that's right.
out
Yep.
there.
A couple of drops either end. That's it. All the way down. That's it. Plenty. Straight down. That's it. Hold it there for a tick. That's that right. Okay. Let that go. That's it. Righto. Let the animal go.
That's it. Watch those tentacles. All right. Goodness gracious.
Ah, look, he's swimming already. That's brilliant.
The jellyfish is moving along at a brisk speed, its deadly array of tentacles almost invisible behind it. Ultrasonic tracking will build up a three-dimensional picture of where they go and how deep they swim. Vital information to help us understand the world's most venomous creature. Some of the ocean's deadliest aren't out here in the deep water or even on the shallow reefs. For our next deadly encounter, Jamie and I are headed back to the coast. We're going to search a rocky shoreline to find another notorious killer, the tiny blue-ringed octopus with venom 10,000 times more powerful than cyanide.
You know, while we're looking for these guys, we want to make sure that the business end is the beak underneath.
Absolutely, that's the bit inside. So they've got a little parrot beak underneath. So what they do is they bite and then they spit the venom out, which comes out of the salivary glands. So just, I mean, these are the sort of place I'd expect to find them. There you are, look at that. There's one. Oh, look at that. And see, look, he's almost camouflaged up against the back of this.
This is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Now, these guys are very venomous.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's a tetrodotoxin.
Yeah, it's a tetrodotoxin. It's the same thing you get in fugu or pufferfish. Okay, it's found right throughout the world. Yeah, I mean, you can see them, they're using jet propulsion. Yeah. Squeeze it out
Right
through
out the siphons.
But look, you can see he's starting to change colours again.
That's cool.
And so it really is like jet water propulsion.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, it's just like squid or any other type
Oh,
of
absolutely.
octopus.
Yeah, it's all like all the
let's,
cephalopods.
A little water in there.
Look at that.
Absolutely amazing animal.
And that's a big blue ring too. I've really never seen them quite that large before. The ones we use in the lab are really quite small. And when those blue rings are going, that's when they're aggro. The interesting thing is they also do that when they're feeding. And it's almost, you know, when they grab a crab and they're wrestling with it, you see the blue rings flash again. And it's almost, you know, this sort of, I can get you type thing. So, but really cool animals.
The bite is painless, but fatal. Symptoms start with nausea, then loss of vision, then the other senses go, and finally, paralysis and death. There is no known antidote. The only way to save a victim from a deadly dose of venom is immediate medical help. Ongoing artificial respiration until the poison dissipates in around 24 hours. With Steve still ashore, I take the opportunity to go to South Australia to follow a dream of swimming with great white sharks.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, Philippe. How are you?
Rodney,
Pleased to meet
pleasure
you.
to meet you too.
Yes, welcome, Andrew.
Andrew, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Pedro, how you doing?
Good, mate.
You?
We've left some sharks out there for you.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
You'll be very pleased. We tagged a fresh new one yesterday, and we hope she's waiting for you when we get out.
Rodney Fox
Excellent.
is a survivor of a great white shark attack. Now with his sons Andrew and Ian, he's devoted his life to help save the species, having led more than 100 expeditions to study the animal that almost killed him.
When I was really young, 22, I was the South Australian spearfishing champion. And it was during the next year in this same competition that a great white shark grabbed me around the chest, 400 stitches. I actually pushed it off with my hand after I fell out of its mouth and gouged its eyes, and that I had 97 stitches in my hand. It was a miracle survivor, they said, and I had beaten all the odds because most people die from a chest bite. So I wanted to know more about sharks, and so I built the first underwater cage.
This was the first shark cave dive, or?
Ever the first cage dive anywhere in the world. We made the first ever film in about 1965 of great whites.
40 years of coming face to face with an apex predator. In the process, Rodney has produced some of the most dramatic images ever seen of the great white shark. Our destination, the Neptune Islands, is one of the best great white habitats in the world. These two rugged outcrops, separated by a channel a few hundred yards wide, are the South Neptune Islands, the tips of an underwater rock shelf where both fur seals and sea lions live and die. I'm going ashore to study these thoroughly fascinating marine mammals, surrounded by a sea that gives them both life and death. Waters up to 300 feet deep are rich in food, but the presence of so many seals and sea lions also makes this the ideal place to find their #1 predator, the great white shark.
This is what the great whites are here to help. The high fat content in these seals and the rare endangered Australian sea lion, which is also to be found on this island, is everything that they want. God, they're so beautiful.
On this side of the headland, there is a major colony of New Zealand fur seals, now recovering after almost being wiped out by hunters in the 19th century. And to see the other species, it's a hard climb across a rugged headland to a colony of Australian sea lions. The male sea lion with his golden mane is twice as big as the female he is guarding. Australian sea lions are an endangered species with a very slow breeding rate. Up next, I realize one of my dreams and get face to face with the great white. We're ready to bring on the great whites. The red and white flag warns about shark chumming, and the other signifies divers in the water. Not a combination you see every day. Great chunks of fish tied to ropes let the sharks know we're here.
Oh my God, look at the size of that thing.
While I'm watching, awestruck by their power and raw beauty, Rodney and Andrew are examining the sharks like long-lost friends. They know every single individual animal and they're checking out their health and condition.
This particular shark has got a distinctive curve out of its dorsal fin, so we'll just mark that down to accompany the photo IDs, and we'll mark little distinctive scars. We've got Big Johnny here. We can tell him he's got very distinctive tail markings that give him away, even though he drops his tags. So through the photo identification, we've been able to find him. We profile every shark we see.
I'm amazed by this story. How a man survived being ripped open by a shark, then gave his life to them in another way, by dedicating himself to saving the species.
I never failed to be amazed by that animal. He just stayed on the shot and showed the classic two fins going through. I've got the shot of him before right.
Yeah, this guy here has actually been here for a few years. He's one of our adopted sharks on the Research Foundation. It's called Moo. You'll notice his dorsal fin when it comes up. He's got a big cutback at the bottom of his dorsal fin, very distinctive. Straight up.
Awesome.
Every shark is identified, written up on the board, and matched to a photo ID and a name. And this time, there's a newcomer, a shark that Rodney and Andrew have never seen before.
First, a new shark gets one of these little babies in her, and we put them in with this spike, and that spears into the shark's very thick skin, and that leaves behind just a simple number trace.
Yo, there's a new one in here, so that's 5 sharks.
Yeah, right, all male. There's another one as big as Moo as well, which is pretty new, so we'll try to get a tag into him today.
The tag will identify the shark if it's sighted again, caught by fishermen, or dies and its body is found.
He's too big to hold.
Tagging is the most basic research, but recently Rodney and Andrew have moved into satellite tracking for more detailed research on these animals. Their obsession with great whites started with Rodney's quest to overcome his fear after the attack. That simple goal has been transformed into a crusade to help the world understand the vital ecological role that great whites play in our oceans.
That is amazing. Getting right up close to these animals, you can see how thoughtful they are. They come in and look at the bait and swim on. They're not these monster killing machines. And in a minute, we're gonna get even closer when we get in these cages and get down with them.
Yo, yeah, get that.
Oh my God, did you see that? This shark is comfortably twice as long as I am, at least 13 feet.
This great white is so focused, it doesn't stop biting, even when it's chewing marine-grade steel. In fact, until it actually bites something, it doesn't know whether it's edible or not.
Did you see that? Right up there. Woo! That is the closest thing I have ever been to anything like that in my life.
Still ahead, I enter the underwater world of these astonishing creatures with only a few metal bars between us. The diver in the water flag now serves its purpose as I prepare to dive into the territory of the world's largest predatory fish.
We've got a couple of hours of awesome topside action, and now it's time to get in the water and see these guys up close and personal.
From above the water, it looks like pure, untamed aggression. But going below the surface will give us a completely different perspective on the behavior of these magnificent animals. The sharks are still biting to taste everything in range, but underwater, their behavior is much more calm and measured. On the surface, I was in awe of their aggressive strength, but below, it's their graceful beauty that takes over as their most impressive feature. Observing them like this, we can get past their deadly record and the tremendous power of their bite. We can understand the great white as an important marine animal and one that's in serious trouble. Australia now protects them under endangered species laws, but other countries still allow them to be hunted mercilessly. As you spend more time, you start to notice other things about them, such as how brilliantly their camouflage works. The great white is only white from below. From above, the dark color lets it blend into the background during an attack on prey swimming on the surface. Watch the shark's eye as it bites. Other sharks have an extra protective eyelid, but the great white rolls its eyes back in its head to protect itself during feeding. Because we've put food in the water, they're checking everything to see if it's edible. A steel cage really confuses them. This mouthing is not doing any damage to the shark. Their mouth is a living tooth factory. New ones move forward all the time to replace any that might have broken off. In the world of the great white, floating objects, humans included, are classified by whether they're edible or not. They decide what they want to eat by holding and tasting. Unfortunately for us, a grab and taste can be a horrific experience, but usually not fatal. There's no doubt that the great white is one of the ocean's deadliest, possibly the most dangerous of all sharks. They may have a notorious reputation as mass killers, but the facts and figures say otherwise. Only a few people die from shark attacks each year. Indeed, humans have more chance to die from disease, auto accidents, or even lightning than shark attacks. When you clear away the myths and look at the facts, the great white is behaving as nature intended, a magnificent sea creature with a vital role in keeping the ocean healthy.
Oh my goodness. It is not something I will ever forget.
How's your heart? Good?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Did they come very close?
They came right up to the cage.
Did you notice any difference on the surface than down the bottom?
You can see them so much clearer down there. And when they go right by the cage, they're slowly they're gliding through the water, gracefully and softly, just with purpose. And they are I'm speechless. That's the bottom line. I don't have any words to explain it. It was magic.
After the break, I rejoin Steve aboard Croc 1 to face an even more fearsome apex predator. Croc 1 repositions to a remote mangrove-lined river where Steve and Professor Craig Franklin will continue their pioneering research into ocean-going crocodiles. Steve long ago dedicated himself to this joint project with the Queensland Parks and Wildlife Service and the University of Queensland. We're going to be trapping some of the biggest crocodiles in the world for scientific research that is breaking new ground to unlock ancient mysteries about the lives of these most powerful reptiles. Steve introduces me to a world he knows so well, the habitat of the estuarine or saltwater crocodile. Working in this environment with these animals is second nature to him. It's an honor being brought into the world of the crocodile by someone who knows them as well as Steve Irwin. These living dinosaurs may nest and hatch their eggs in river systems, but they also travel out to sea, where they're the biggest and most dangerous reptiles in the ocean. We're looking for male crocodiles of a particular size for attaching tracking devices, and this estuary is the ideal location with plenty of evidence that they're around. Here is a big, healthy population of saltwater crocodiles, and Steve has spotted what he's been looking for. Because the mud is very firm, the tracks are in great condition, and Steve can tell exactly what he is dealing with.
Oh, here's what we're looking for, Philippe. Have a go at this. Look at that. Woo! This is perfect. Exactly what we're looking for. You can see the claw marks of the back feet. They're huge. Way bigger than my hand. Look at that. There's one toe. The way they cut those grooves straight through, so that puts him that wide. which means he's up and around 15 feet in length. So this is exactly where we'd set a trap, right here. We target the animal that we want, we locate the slide, and then we put the trap in. I reckon we go for a floating trap here.
I think sounds good.
This is gonna be good, it's gonna be big.
We rendezvous with Professor Craig Franklin, a zoologist at one of Australia's leading universities.
How you going?
G'day, how you going?
All right.
Fantastic.
Welcome on board.
Yeah, thanks very much, Philippe.
How you going, Craig?
Good, thanks, Steve.
Hey, Pete. How are you, man?
Pete.
Good.
Peter Craft.
Come on board. Sorry about the mess, mate. She's a bit muddy.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Steve.
We've been
Right,
busy.
let's go in the wheelhouse and get a game plan, shall we?
Okay, sounds good to me.
Alrighty. It's like a big show and tell, isn't it?
It is.
What do you got, Professor?
Well, guys, this is the guts of what we want to do. We want to put these on the back of this 11-footer. And essentially what we're doing is being able to look at the movements of the animal underwater in 3 dimensions. And this is going to just give us detailed information about the secret life of crocodiles underwater.
This is unknown information. I mean, this is cutting edge science.
The challenge is catching them, putting them on, and then getting them back. So the doctor and the professor have actually devised an incredible floating system. So once this is released, it sits and it bobs like that. So you've got the radio tracking gear here and a nice iridescent float, and then they'll put like colourful tape on there that we can see at night, and it sits there and we can hear it. And then underneath in the water is the pinger. So it's ping, 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 which is an acoustic tag.
That's right.
And just put the hydrophone over and we can tell exactly which direction it is.
Yeah, so we've got 2 chances of trying to get this back. And really that's the key. We have to get it back because the information is stored on board.
I think we've put more devices on more big animals than probably anyone else in the world.
I'd say definitely. I mean, you know, in the space of a month, we have deployed, over 30 of these devices. And as you say, we've retrieved 23 back.
30.
And
30 separate crocodiles.
Yeah,
We've been really busy. We've been really busy.
But we've been working with the best team in the world. I mean, it's phenomenal to see these guys at work.
Yeah.
You know, this project wouldn't be possible without Steve's leadership and his team. And you see this team work, and they're just a tight-knit unit. They know what they're doing.
Oh, here we go.
He's a bit of a scientist as well. He doesn't
He
want
won't
to
admit it, right?
Right.
More questions.
Scientists are the enemy. Shut up, Pete. You haven't said anything until now, and now he wants to hook in. You've been there all nice and quiet, and now...
Oh, he's been biding his time to strike.
That's right.
Hey, big boy.
You're watching Steve Irwin's incredible knowledge about crocodiles firsthand. His floating trap has caught its target, and we have to bring the massive croc safely ashore to fit the tracking device. Joining Steve's incredible team, I realized the true bulk of this living dinosaur.
3, 2, 1, hold!
It was a primeval experience that made me shiver despite the heat.
Hold there! Yes! Have a go at the size of this thing. He's huge.
That is a huge animal.
Yeah, he's almost as big as they get. Let's go, Baz.
To get him out of the trap and hold him safely, Steve's well-practiced technique takes advantage of the crocodile's natural instincts. The classic threat posture is perfect for attaching a rope to the top jaw.
Yeah, you go on my side, go on left and away.
Nice and gentle, big fella.
The crocodile's jaw structure and tooth placement make sure the ropes don't come loose. 2 ropes aren't enough. A croc this size is going to need 3 to restrain him safely.
Okay, a bit more weight on your Sanchez. Okay, we're good on next Stewie, aren't we? Get off there, buddy. Okay, here we go. Out gentle. A-frame, A-frame, A-frame. Get out wide. We don't want him going across the paddock. We've got to drag him back. Hold him there. Hold him there. Here we go. Rhino, you need to get ready to oppose me.
I've never seen anything like this before. A team with such perfect split-second timing.
Go another one. Boy, go another one.
These are known as death rolls. He's tying his own jaws tightly shut. We've got him, but he'll regain his energy for a few more violent and dangerous outbursts.
Okay, now hold him. We got time, we got time. Here we go, coming back my way. Oh, we're looking good, boys. Come on, baby. Here goes another one. We're looking great. Wait for another one. And we're going. Let him come over, Brian. Go! Yo!
Steve has asked me to take hold and control the tail, and it's powerful.
Right out behind him. I need mud or dirt for his nose. Just don't let him cave my ribs in, mate.
When Steve is sure the mouth is safely tied, he will hand him over to the scientists.
His name's Kennedy. We need to refer to him as Kennedy. He's a very, very special animal, and he's about to get a logger on him, so you're crocodile, Craig. Good work, team.
For a college professor, Craig Franklin is totally hands-on, right in the thick of the action to attach the logging instruments to a very big, very angry croc. The skin is cleaned and sterilized, and the croc is given a local anesthetic before the device is attached between two bony plates on the back of his neck.
You reckon he's as big as Albert, boys? He is big. Crikey, I reckon he's the biggest one we've got this year.
I reckon so too.
I reckon. When can we put a tape measure on him?
We can do that right now.
All right, come on, where's the tape measure?
Tape measure.
Kennedy, big Kennedy.
Keep it going down the midline.
Pull him back up to you, Craig.
Hang on. Come on, Brian.
15 feet.
What a reception, a 15-foot croc.
The device records the crocodile's depth, its time underwater, the time spent basking in the sun, body temperature, body angle, and swimming direction. The data collected from these devices will help make up the first ever complete picture of a crocodile's daily movements.
Okay, when you drop off this croc, just make sure everyone's catered for, okay? You right, Brian?
Yep.
Stuart? Yep. Okie dokie.
Release time, and Steve has pointed Kennedy towards the river. His instinct should be to head straight into the water, but he's so angry, he could turn back and attack.
Now. You come round.
Fantastic, Steve-o.
He'll go and pick a fight now.
Well, it's starting to collect information right now.
He's letting us know that if you want to come into the water now, we can play another game.
And down he goes.
Congratulations, fellas.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, Philippe. Hey?
Something else.
Welcome to Australia. Have a nice day.
Up next, we return the ocean's most powerful reptile to the sea for the ultimate scientific test. Our survey up and down the river identified any number of great locations for traps, and the day after my first croc, we've had another success. We're towing the trap to where Croc 1 is moored because we may be taking this volunteer to another location.
Okay, hold.
It's nowhere near as big as Kennedy was, but it's a more manageable size for the next phase of this research, transporting a croc offshore to monitor its behavior in the open ocean. It's still a big croc with the same capture technique, a series of rope lassos around the top jaw. Steve and the team have this technique down to a fine art. Again, the instinct to escape by death rolling will safely tie the jaws shut. And this time, I can feel it directly, working the end of the rope.
We want him to death roll. Keep the pressure on that, Philippe. You like to jump? Yo, go. Let him go over, Stewie. Right.
Once we've got this croc fully restrained, we'll assess his suitability for attaching two separate monitoring devices to gather information in the open ocean. It is well known that crocs spend time in the ocean, but what they do and where they go is another of the big mysteries of crocodile life.
we're looking at 10'3".
10 foot 3, yeah.
10 foot 3.
He's perfect for our trial, hey Craig?
Yeah, really absolutely perfect.
There's a device like the one on Kennedy, as well as a speedometer attached to the back near the tail.
Let's see if we can get it worked out.
And this is going to come off after how long?
So this will come off, it's only a short duration, of about 5 to 6 hours.
Okay.
And this is a corrodable link here. Steve-O, it's all yours, mate.
The challenge now is to transport him to the open ocean, keeping the croc unharmed, everyone on the team safe, and the equipment undamaged.
How long is this on?
The instruments have to be strong enough to cope with the rough life of a crocodile. Its biggest test will be at the start of the journey, when the crocodile resists being transferred into the travel box.
All right, this is a whole lot different to what we've done before because we actually have to take the blindfold and the restraint off the crocodile. So there's a very severe element of danger. Trevor and Baz, it's really important that when you pull on that rope, you pull him up hard until he gets to about halfway and then back it off to a nice steady pull until he bottoms out. I don't want him bottoming out too hard. And hold him when he bottoms out so as we can get the lid on before we cut the rope.
The croc has to be totally ready for release when we open the box at our destination.
Bit more. Okay, Stewie, switch out to the other side.
This is the critical moment. The jaws will be untied and he'll be very angry.
Philippe, just drop back to this part of his tail right here, over the top of that, and you need to push forward. But if I say let go, what I'm trying to say is let go and get the hell out of here. Ready? Go! Go, go, go! Okay, back up, Philippe, back up, back up. Hold there, boys! Hold! No, let go, let go! Let go! Get the lid on, Stewie. He's gonna come back on you.
Another great job from Steve's Australia Zoo team, and I am proud and honored to have played my part in it. Working with this team is one of the most incredible experiences of my life. The croc is safely in the box, the ropes are off, and nobody's been hurt. In a matter of minutes, he's calmed down enough to be ferried out into the river and winched aboard Croc 1 for the ocean voyage. It's a perfect day for heading back to the Barrier Reef and enjoying a bit of fun on the way.
I don't know about you, Philippe, but over here in Australia, we've got this saying, size counts.
Projects like this are trying to fill some of the huge gaps in what we know about the life of saltwater crocodiles in the wild.
So Philippe, you can see this chunk of land that spears straight up towards New Guinea. It's Cape York Peninsula, and probably one of the hottest spots for crocodiles in the world. What we're going to do is we're going to head out here virtually to the Great Barrier Reef. The crate needs 30 metres to drop the croc in.
That's right.
Why do we need 30 metres, Craig?
Well, I think it's a good depth to aim for, and we really know very little about how deep these crocs can actually die.
The overall aim is to build up a complete picture of crocodile habits, so we can make life safer for humans who share the same territory, and to help ensure the survival of the species. We've arrived where the depth is about 100 feet, suitable to release the croc. Here he will have the choice of how deep he dives and which direction he takes. The logging device will record everything about his location, and the speedometer on his back will tell us how fast he travels and for how long.
So 78, that was the single one.
So I'll put it on 78.
It's time to loosen the door and get ready to release the croc.
Alrighty team, here's what we're going to do. We're going to tilt the box up. I'm thinking if we open it, he'll just walk on out. Everyone needs to stay back and clear of the crate.
The saltwater crocodile has survived for millions of years by being wary of danger. And that's what he's doing right now, being cautious until he's sure it's safe to leave the box.
Hey, he looks good, doesn't he?
Steve is following the croc to make sure he's swimming normally and the scientific instruments stay attached.
13.3 metres. It's coming up. It's maintaining its buoyancy at 10 metres.
Only Steve could do this. He knows these animals so well and is constantly aware of the body language and potential attack posture.
I'm onto him, but he's swimming flat out like a lizard drinking.
Steve is getting as close as he can for a visual check of the data loggers at depth, and so far, so good. The instruments are designed to come loose after several hours in the water, which means they can't be attached too firmly to start with. Steve can see that both the data logger high up on the back and the speedometer trailing behind are still hanging on, even with the croc's powerful swimming action.
You can see the way he's tucking his legs in alongside his body and using that big, powerful, rudder-like tail to just stay out in front of us.
What an impressive creature, the saltwater crocodile, deadliest reptile in the ocean.
Woo! How's that? He's going for a deep dive, tail flicking, and he's heading southwest, just about right where he came from. Woohoo! Mission accomplished, you beauty.
Coming up, Steve and I reveal the most deadly animal of all. Coming face to face with some of the ocean's deadliest creatures makes us realize that the most lethal of all is humankind. Humans are plundering the ocean every day, and scientists are warning that fish stocks are declining so fast they could disappear by the middle of this century. Even the ocean bottom is being ripped apart by indiscriminate large-scale trawling. Massive nets are designed to take every living creature above a few inches long. And the oceans are awash with what we call ghost nets, abandoned nets from fishing ships that continue a deadly harvest until they rot or sink. Shark control nets on beaches kill not only sharks, but also species like dolphins, seals, turtles, and whales. There's the incredible waste of finning, shark bodies dumped back in the water after their fins are hacked off to make soup. Man's destruction of the ocean is causing the collapse of fishery after fishery right around the world. Through the barbarity of whaling, some whale species have been driven to the brink of extinction, hunted relentlessly in the thousands. Protection of some species has seen whales prove that environmental action can help save a species, and the same can happen for other creatures of the ocean. But hunting of all whales must stop. We also continue to treat the ocean like a cesspool and a garbage dump. Oil and chemical spills, deliberate and accidental, are devastating marine animals and their habitats. Accidental spills grab the headlines, but it is long-term pollution that is the silent killer of the ocean. We can all take action to do something about it. Even the slightest change by anyone will help save our seas. There is no doubt about it. The danger to the future of the world's oceans is real, and it's with us right now. But there is hope. A hope that may be held in the hands of a few scientific researchers and unsung champions who are putting their lives on the line, fighting to save the incredible creatures of the ocean.
Now, hold on.
Hey, coming to the surface.
I'm gonna try your line.
Straight ahead. Keep going. Perfect. Got it. Mission accomplished. Excellent.
Hey, good spotting, Philly. Good spotting.
Excellent.
I learned long ago from my grandfather and father that the ocean is vital to all life on what they called our water planet, including human life. This voyage with the foremost wildlife warrior of today has been an honor and has strengthened my resolve to continue the fight for ocean conservation that is my own personal heritage and that should matter deeply to all of us.
We've had an incredible adventure here in Australia. and explored some amazing, albeit deadly creatures, but they all have a vital role to play in the environment, and so can we. By making better choices about the things that we buy, supporting conservation, and keeping wild places wild, we can ensure that there are healthy oceans for today and for the future.